Mexico!
Hi, we're Mel and Jay. Together with our cat Benny, we're traveling the Baja Peninsula all the way to Cabo and back. This is our story of queuing up in the desert, getting ourselves across the Mexican border, and making our first authentic salsa.
So we had a great plan. We would come to the desert, relax, plan out our Mexico route. Sounds pretty good, right? Except we came right in the middle of a windstorm. We would have shown you setting up, but it was just too crazy and windy. Thankfully, we found this spot that's somewhat protected by a mountain. It's much less windy down there. We drove all the way down I-5 along the west coast to get here. When it comes to crossing the Mexican border in California, we have three options: Tijuana, Tecate, and Mexicali. In our last video, you may have noticed we were camping in San Diego on the Tijuana border, so logically it would make sense for us to cross there, right? Wrong. The Tijuana crossing is one of the busiest land borders in North America, and although we love adventure, we don't love traffic or maneuvering our trailer through tight spots. That leaves Tecate or Mexicali. Since we're headed down the east coast of the peninsula first, Mexicali is closer to our final destination for the night. Within the city, there are two options, east and west. We've read that the east crossing is more RV friendly, so that's why we're headed there.
Bringing pets into Mexico is fairly simple. If you're traveling with birds, ferrets, or your pet pig, sorry, you'll have to go through a whole other process. But if you're bringing your cat or dog with you, listen up. Requirements as of December 2022 include bringing a rabies vaccine certificate and enough food for 1 day, or a limit of 50 pounds of unopened sealed pet food. Seems simple enough, right? Except, just because these are the only requirements for bringing your beloved furry family member with you to Mexico doesn't mean that this is the only thing you should do to prepare. Making sure they are fully vaccinated on flea, tick, and heartworm prevention for the entire trip, and drinking clean potable water will all help keep your pet healthy while you're there. It's also a good idea to talk to your veterinarian before leaving to include any specific needs for your pet's unique situation. Whew. Good morning. It is the day we are crossing into Mexico. Ooh, I'm so excited. And nervous. We've never crossed the border driving anyways. My only experience with going into Mexico is walking across the border at Brownsville, Texas with Jay's cousins once. And Jay's only experience is flying into like Cancun for an all-inclusive. We have crossed many borders before, so I don't know why I'm nervous. I think it's because it's just been so long since we have actually traveled outside of Canada or the US. I'm excited for the food, of course, duh. I'm excited just to try out some Spanish and see some amazing beaches. We're spending Christmas down here, so that'll be kind of fun. I can't wait to get to a grocery store. Let's hope everything today at the border goes smooth. We have no reason to expect it not to.
Camping all the way down to Cabo.
He took this whole thing out. Not just the cup holder, but this whole thing. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even know that could come out.
We made it into Mexico. So let's tell you a little bit about our border experience. We pulled up, they waved us in and parked us, and then they inspected. And a very nice officer pulled out the console in our truck, but very kindly put it back. And then he went and inspected the trailer with Jay. Jay, tell us about that. once we get into traffic safely. Whoa. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about the driving so far in Mexico. It's aggressive.
Okay, I can say a little bit about the inspection then.
Okay.
So I will say that inspecting the trailer, he was very thorough. He opened most of the cupboards. He got me to put the slide out. He opened each one of our camera bags and computer bags, but he was very friendly. He spoke good English, so it was pretty easy.
Thank goodness, because I was all excited to practice some Spanish, and of course you get in the moment. Every single word except hola and gracias flew out of my brain.
I remembered Buenos Dias.
Yeah, I remembered that because I heard someone else say it. Let me just turn the camera. We'll show you the wall. We are on the other side of it. There it is. So we crossed at Mexicali East border crossing. We didn't even have to move the trailer after the inspection to go into the office to get the FMM.
We were parked right in front of the door that
Right at the
had
door.
to go in.
We were the only trailer in line at the time. We crossed at about 9:30 we arrived. It's now 10:15, so we spent about 45 minutes going through the inspection and then waiting in line and getting our FMM. Now, the FMM we had to pay in cash, US dollars, $35 each. The border is open from 6 a.m. until midnight
600 meters.
at this particular crossing. Bustling, it's very busy border crossing. I would hate to see what the Tijuana one was like. Poor Benny here in the back, he's kind of pushed himself to the far back of his carrier. When we were getting our FMM, we explained, we have a cat. Do we need a permit? And she said no. And she waved us away and said goodbye. She was like, no, you're good, bye. That was the situation with getting Benny in. We didn't even have to show his vaccine certificate. We didn't even have to show him. So that's that. And now we are in Mexicali, and
Here we are. It's nice to be back in the metric system. We've got our kilometers and degrees Celsius. Feels like we're right at home.
except everything is in Spanish. We'll get there. We're learning slowly. Let's talk a little bit about the driving so far. Kilometers instead of miles per hour, which is kind of nice again for us Canadians.
Might be tricky for Americans though.
Gas is priced per liter. So far we have found diesel at every station we've driven past. However, we're not even at San Felipe yet. So we've noticed so far going through towns, speed limit is somewhere around 60 kilometers an hour. And then the 2-lane highway that we're on, which is Highway 5, is about 100 kilometers an hour. Driving through the city was a little bit chaotic. We were really, really glad to have our Google Maps mapped out.
And I was glad there wasn't a whole lot of traffic. If there was a lot of traffic, then some of the turns and switching lanes and stuff would have been difficult with the trailer.
Oh yeah, there was that one roundabout where we were like, we entered the roundabout in the left lane, and then we had to also exit in the left lane. However, somehow we were passing over like 2 or 3 lanes all at once.
It was kind of like a European roundabout.
It was a little nuts. First military checkpoint complete. It was pretty easy. He asked in very fast Spanish where we were going and asked permission to enter the trailer. And Jay went with him and he looked through a couple cupboards and that was about it. Next mission is to get some stuff for our recipe tonight.
So Mel asked me, how much did that cost? She's having a little trouble translating the pesos still. It came to $169.07. So to convert that, it's basically 170. You drop the 0, and then you divide it in half. So it's like $8.50 US, roughly.
Which is 11.86 Canadian.
There you go.
So we got all that stuff, including we got some milk as well. Yeah, for under $10. Not bad.
Yeah, pretty good. A little bit cheaper than Canada.
Well, the chips, I don't know what the chips cost, but like...
Were those La Nortena Topotos?
Yes.
They were 50. So how much is that? You tell me.
All right, well, 50, drop the 0 is 5. Oh my gosh, they're the same price as at home.
So not everything is cheap. You still got to watch your prices.
I think we have to go further south. All right, so this is the point in the video where I'm going to share some Mexican cooking recipes with you. I have this book that I ordered and picked up when we were in San Diego, and I was thinking each week we might try a different recipe from the book. I'll link to this book off of Amazon if you're interested in buying it yourself. It's our first night here in Baja, and we want to keep it simple. We've had a long day of travel. We are basically just doing salsa and chips. So let's get started. I've picked up some serrano peppers, some tomatoes, some cilantro, some limes. I'm just washing it all here in a little bit of a soap. Salsa cheers.
Salsa cheers. Mmm.
Yeah? Oh, it's hot.
Bit of spice.
Oh, those peppers.
Well, we made it.
And the salsa has been eaten. So that means that's the end of our show for today. So thank you for joining us. And next week we will be coming to you from San Felipe. Da-da-da.
See you then.
Bye. You know, so yeah, now I'm rambling and you probably don't care.
Mexican system? Nice trick. When it comes to crossing the Mexican border into California,
Bringing pets into Mexico. Requirements as of December 2022. Bringing pets into Mexico. Requirements as of December 22nd. No. Make sure you don't miss the next video by liking, subscribing, and turning on notifications. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.